Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Jared Polly's Fragrance Reviews. Tonight we're going to be examining a fragrance which, in my opinion, is the ultimate hidden gem from the house of Christian Dior. This fragrance is known as Dune or Homme, which came out in 1997. This is classified as a woody floral musk. One thing that I must say about this fragrance before I begin, there is a great variation in the batches. And the box that I have, this is an older bottle, and one giveaway is on the box. It says Christian Dior, where the newer formulations just say Dior. So this fragrance, I find, is one that for whatever reason slips under the radar for Christian Dior, and it does not get talked about that much in the fragrance community. But I think this is an absolute fantastic fragrance. This is Christian Dior at its best. And over the last several years, I found that Christian Dior has spent just way too much time pushing one fragrance, and that is Dior Sauvage, which maybe at one time was a decent fragrance when it came out, but I do not consider Dior Sauvage even in the top 10 of all of the fragrances that Christian Dior have created in their designer line. And when Christian Dior makes, in the past, some of the fragrances they have made, like Fahrenheit or Dior Homme or Dior Homme Parfum, are some of the most iconic designer fragrances in history. And let's hope that in the next few years they can rekindle some of that last spark and produce some very unique qualities instead of just flankers of Dior Sauvage. So I'm going to take this out of the box. It's a pretty simple looking bottle, but very classy looking. So initial spray is very smooth. It's one of the smoothest opening sprays I've ever smelled. It's got this sweet dustiness, and it's a little bit peppery. And this is where the name Dune, which is, of course, in the desert, where it's sand that is built up from the wind, is a very appropriate name. And this is how, like, a sweet smell of the desert. That's the best way, like almost like flowers on the desert. That's the best way to describe the opening. As it dries down, the fragrance becomes more floral, a little bit honey-like, but still dusty and sweet. It is so pleasant. It is like a refreshing desert breeze, and it's very appealing. Later on, it comes a little bit more woodier, a little more fruity, and slight creaminess, which probably comes from the sandalwood. As advertised, the top notes are fig leaf, cassis, sage, and basil. The mid notes are fig wood bark, which is an unusual note in a fragrance, rose, and mignonette. The base notes are sandalwood, cedar, vanilla, and tonka bean. So a couple of notes I just want to talk about that are a little bit unusual. The first one is mignonette, which is a flower, and this is very sweet, but it still has a pleasant smell and is somewhat fruity and violet in its profile. The other note is fig leaf, which gives the fragrance a little bit of a greenish, bitter smell. And I think this is where the dustiness comes in this fragrance. And gives it this kind of nostalgic, almost like time traveling, walking through the desert alone, like you're lost in the desert. And this is what you're smelling, is this sweet dustiness. And it also, fig leaf can smell like kind of dried underbrush, but in a very pleasant way, not that something is rotting. So I would say the underlying vibe of this fragrance is kind of like a fresh breeze where, you know, the new winds are blowing out the old winds, but it's invigorating. It's very refreshing, almost a bit of like a bit of a citrus smell. So final thoughts on this fragrance. Like I said, the batches are the big issue. The older batches are superior without a shadow of a doubt. And performance in the older batches, like I said, is superior. The newer batches, the performance is a problem in some of them. But this is an absolute timeless scent that is somewhat unknown and forgotten from the house of Christian Dior. It is elegant. It is stylish. It is timeless. It's for a mature male. And I consider it a mesmerizing scent with incredible wafts. It's not really a skin scent. It seems to uh, to emanate off the skin and project it like maybe a nice arm's length, so it's not overbearing. And I think the ladies really like it. It is somewhat sexy, but it is unforgettable, and it has these mysterious, elusive qualities that I think a lot of people, you will get compliments on, and people ask what you're wearing because it's not abrasive in any manner, but it is going to be liked by many people, but it does not have this mass market effect. And one last comment, like I said, on the House of Christian Dior, let's hope they start to produce some fragrances with some more uniqueness and originality like they have in the past 30, 40 years. So many great fragrances, because to me, the house has been a little bit of a disappointment lately, and hopefully they can recapture some of their former genius and glory. So if you liked this review, hit the like button, the subscribe button, notification bell. Any comments, questions you have, or experiences with this fragrance, or any batches, I'd be interested to know. Just leave it down below and I'll always get back to you. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.